She followed through step by step. She walked with us all the way. She helped me with my school, helped me with my financial problem at home, helped my sis to get a job, helped my mom as well. I see that they care. Because she will do whatever it takes to help. They want us to do well in probation. They want us to finish. They also want us to pursue in life.
3 in 5 of the youth who come into probation, their likelihood of reoffending actually goes down. It's a substantial number. That tells us that something in probation must be working.
It was my dad's birthday. Everyone seems better, like at a better state of mind. Me and my dad don't understand each other. I think he has a different way of thinking. Yeah, I guess my dad has this habit of being in a state of negativity. I'm thankful that the session happened so that things got better after that. Well, I wrote him a card. I also have to understand that is my father. He has been taking care of me since young when my mom left. You know, he could have just did the same thing as my mom, but he didn't. Writing that letter is like actually at the bare minimum I can give. I just always remember like he's my dad and like he's done a lot of good things for me.
What was the first thing that you noticed that was different?
Oh, my dad just stopped talking about the past, like completely like stopped.
Right, so that's great. I think this is something that's been working on since your start of probation.
They're so funny and must need that session like that then can stop. I don't understand.
Why do you think that he has decided to like change?
Maybe like he realized that not only me, like other people are telling him that. Like the thing about my dad is right, he need other people to tell him. If I tell him, he don't believe me.
You are going to be done with probation in June. So we are more than halfway through it. So let's look at things that you have achieved.
These 4 months, I've just been cutting a lot of contacts with people. They're just not good for me. So like, why sacrifice all that I've just built just because I want to go party for a few hours? It's just not worth it lah. I'm so proud of myself. I don't even need anyone to tell me that. I can just tell myself that.
So how does it feel like to no longer seek validation from others?
Honestly, it feels great. I read this book. It actually taught me that I don't have to seek any sort of validation from anybody. It was a lot of like wanting my dad to recognize what I do. And I'm doing it because I don't want him to think like I'm a bad person.
I strongly believe there is good in people, and my job is to identify this good and then subsequently get them to recognize this good for themselves as well.
Because if I constantly feed on people's recognition and their validation, right, I will always be unhappy. It would always seem never enough.
If I didn't get caught, none of the opportunities that were given to me will be there. My company offered a place overseas. I'm one of the lucky ones that got shortlisted. It's a 5-year traineeship program where I become an apprentice for a really big company. They mentioned the pay was good, the experience will be good. So I'm very thankful lah.
At the start, he was unsure on how to share with his parents. I don't know how to do it, I'm scared. How's dia punya progress dengan your biological mother?
Satu kali dia ajak keluar pergi dinner. Like tell her lah, Alex, takkan marah ke apa.
That's good. I mean, at least you remember that's something that your mom requested, kan? 100% of the world is listening. You have better communication. Everybody's happier.
My dad said, last time you always play out at the smallest things. Now, you patient, you talk nicely. I actually feel thankful that I got God. Because I really need someone to help me go the right way.
The future unfolds with lightning speed this December. The electric race. Find out how drivers and commuters are adapting to this new wave of transformation. Why it matters. Unpack the increasingly complex future and decode the technology behind emerging trends. Ahead of their time. Uncover the gadgets that shape the way we live. Becoming human at work. Get a glimpse of the future of work with AI and robots by our side. This December on CNA. What are the financial forces driving Asia's rise? From transnational business expansions and technology for digital growth to untapped opportunities in the region and beyond. Understand the trends, innovations and corporate deals that are building Asia. On Asia First, Monday mornings on CNA.
I've just finished an 8-hour shift and I'm going to meet a brave little girl to make her wish come true.
This is where my grandparents' house used to be. How crazy do I get? I drink at 9 a.m. in the morning.
And that's what I look out for, things that make people go, wow, Singapore got this man. Growing exotic edibles is definitely the most challenging experiment that I've done.
I saw a wife kissing goodbye to the husband, and I think that can be beautiful.
Teaching opera to me is actually family.
Doing what you love is actually one of the best medicine that you can have.
This is World Tonight.
Good evening, I'm Paul Soon. Tonight's top stories. Europe expects half of its COVID-19 infections to be of the Omicron variant within months. Germany, meanwhile, is imposing sweeping curbs for the unvaccinated. The United States urges Russia to choose diplomacy on Ukraine or face consequences. Moscow has warned Kiev that any attempt to retake the Crimean Peninsula amounts to a direct threat to Russia. Senior US and EU representatives meet to better align their policies on China, warning that the threat from Beijing is increasingly concerning. The United Nations seeking record levels of emergency aid next year, citing the drastic effects of climate change, conflict, and the pandemic on nearly 200 million people. Grab, Southeast Asia's biggest ride-hailing and food delivery firm, lists on the Nasdaq. It's the biggest US listing by a Southeast Asian firm.
I'm Elizabeth Neo. Also tonight, Beijing hits back as the WTA suspends tournaments in China, citing safety concerns for players, especially Peng Shuai. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas in New York. The crowds have returned to watch the iconic Rockefeller Center Christmas tree light up.
A dire warning from the European Union as global concerns grow over the Omicron variant of COVID-19. The bloc's health agency says the strain could cause more than half of all infections in Europe within months. Norway, Finland and France have joined the growing list of countries that have detected the Omicron. India has also confirmed